Hello again, this is Doc Rotten from Horror News Radio and Gruesome Magazine. Joining me tonight is the one and only Paul Cardullo. He is here to talk about another feature film from the GenreBlast Film Festival. Paul, how you doing?
Pretty good. How you doing, Doc?
Doing good. We're here to talk about Future from Rob Cousineau. But first, and I'll butcher the name, you'll get it right. But first, tell us what GenreBlast is.
So GenreBlast is a film festival held in Northern Virginia. This was the second year they had it and the second year that you and I went. It was held at the Alamo Drafthouse in Winchester, Virginia, a great venue. They had just moved there this year. And it focuses on genre films as a whole. So not just horror. You have horror, you've got sci-fi, you have comedy, you have things you can't even describe. You have action films, but they all really fit together, and a lot of the filmmakers show up, which is really kind of neat. So there's this really kind of cool vibe there. So it's definitely something to check out, and it's kind of neat because you'll really get to meet and rub elbows with the people who are actually making these movies.
So let's jump into what Future is, because this was one of their sci-fi efforts. Tell us what's up with Future.
So Future's a sci-fi film. It's also a comedy. It's directed by Rob Cousineau and Chris Rosik, and it stars Joshua P. Cousineau as Doug. He's sort of a 20-something. He works at a crappy tea store. His life's kind of not. He just kind of regrets the direction his life went in, and he ends up meeting, or I guess actually sort of being semi-kidnapped by a time traveler played by Phreddy Wischusen, who basically says, your life seemed to have gone wrong at this point in your life where you didn't send in this application to MIT or something like this. If you sign this contract, I will basically reset your life to that time and let you make that decision the right way. And after a little bit of thinking about it, Doug actually agrees to this. And then the time traveler says, well, okay, you've got, I think it's like, is it 3 or 4 days? I think it's just a handful of days till we reset it, which basically means this life that you're living now ends. And it gets basically erased. So we can do anything. Hey, let's do something. Let's do, we can go wild. There's no results, no consequences. And Doug is actually kind of less reluctant to do that than the time traveler, who seems a little bit more excited about it. But there's some ominous feelings there. There's something feels a little, it gets kind of dark, but in a fun way.
And how important is the actors to this? Because it sounds like it's a very personal piece.
It is. It's a very personal piece. So you have Joshua P. Cousineau as Doug. He's likable. He's a likable kind of schlub. He's not, you really like him, but he's he's kind of wishy-washy in terms of what he wants to do. But the real kind of the one that really shines is Phreddy Wischusen as the time traveler, and he is an absolute hoot. Apparently, he used to be a really foul-mouthed stand-up comic that the filmmakers knew. And when they approached him to do this role, he's like, well, actually, I've become an Orthodox Jew, and so I'm very conservative now. And they're like, oh. He's like, but as long as I keep my, as long as I keep my head covered, and as long as I fit these things, I can kind of still channel that previous incarnation of himself, which he did in such a wonderful way. And he's absolutely hilarious to be with. He's trying to get, the time traveler's trying to get Doug to, hey, let's have parties. Let's do a drug deal. Let's do all this. And Doug's like not really having it. But underneath all of it, really what makes it work is there's more to it than just this kind of goofy, strange, dark comedy it's actually sort of the message underneath it, which comes down to stop feeling sorry for yourself. You may have made mistakes in the past. Don't try to relive them. Get over it. Do something with your life. Move on. And it's actually, it gets really dark. It has kind of a really dark ending, but it's still strangely life-affirming because of the message that comes through it. And it's really funny.
And it's really funny. Give us your score, sir, 1 through 5, and your favorite scene.
I really like this. I mean, I want to give it a 4.5. I'm not sure everyone will really enjoy it, but I sure as hell did. And my favorite scene, there are quite a few of them, but one of them probably is that drug deal where the two of them are sitting there. They had these drugs they're selling to some guy that they picked up from an old friend of Doug's, and they're like, "Hey, this is pretty easy." And it's just this got this really funny vibe to it where they're just kind of like, "Hey, wow, I didn't expect it to be like that." Because that guy who comes up to buy the drugs is like this guy in a suit and stuff, and it just really is really funny. But it's a neat film. Definitely keep an eye out for it. It's something to catch.
Well, there you go, the review of Future. Thank you, Paul, for another great review. I look forward to talking to you again about the films from GenreBlast. Let's say good night.
Good night.
Be sure to visit GruesomeMagazine.com to listen to the other Gruesome podcasts, Hard News Radio, and Decades of Horror. Also check out the Gruesome Magazine Quarterly, available in digital and print-on-demand format.